So I'm Jason Orme. I'm an experienced self-builder and renovator and also the editorial director at Homebuilding and Renovating, Real Homes and Period Living. And this is my finished house in Staffordshire. So the house, when we bought it, was a really unusual late 1960s self-build actually. We bought it for the location and the fantastic garden, and it was close to family as well. We knew that the house needed quite a lot of work, so we needed to really remodel it, extend it and renovate it in all three ways really. So we wanted to introduce energy efficiency into a leaky old house. We wanted to redesign it both from the inside but also just as importantly from the out as well. It's a bit of an ugly duckling, so we knew that we needed to really improve the architectural beauty of it. So windows are really important in a modern house, I think. You obviously introduce lots of light into the interior, which is important to us, but also because we've got such nice views around here, we wanted something that enabled us to maximise the amount of views to the outside as well. So windows, in terms of the design, were critical. So we wanted big windows and lots of them. And obviously they needed to both perform well from an energy perspective, but also be relatively easy to maintain. Composite was an obvious choice, where we've got the aluminium frames on the outside and then the timber on the inside. So something that's nice to touch and tactile, but also low maintenance on the outside as well. So we've built and renovated houses before and often put wooden window frames in. And they look great, but we wanted to stay here for a really long time, and we wanted something that was going to be relatively easy to live with and obviously in terms of maintenance. So I think the composite element of the VELFAC approach was very attractive to us, and the price obviously is important as well. VELFAC I thought were quite competitive compared to a lot of the competitors in terms of the prices we got. Not the cheapest, but not the most expensive. And we looked at overall value for money really for the lifetime of living in this house, which hopefully will be 20 to 30 years time. The windows will last, and we won't have to bother painting them too much. So that was really factored into the price as well. We wanted to maximise the amount of light that got into this house. One of the problems with the old house really was that it was dark, small rooms, and not a lot of light got in. So VELFAC were attractive in a few ways from that perspective, one of which obviously the frame's small, but actually probably more importantly that there's a consistency in terms of the sight lines between the opening and the fixed panels effectively, so they look consistently attractive all the way throughout, symmetrical. It's one of the reasons that architects actually really like them as well, and we were attracted to that from a kind of specification perspective. Now in terms of the energy performance, obviously we wanted something that would keep bills down. We're off mains gas here, so it's expensive to heat generally, and we wanted to make sure that the house performed a lot better than the original 1969 house did. So really well performing low U value windows were important to us as well. So in the living room, we've got a big fixed unit that provides an awful lot of light into the house. Doesn't open, but just gives us an awful lot of natural light. But also, I think more importantly, we've got a really nice set of push and slide doors that open out onto the front patio. They're a really nice alternative to bifold doors, create a nice sight line and also a really nice finish, and they open out completely, so it almost takes the wall away. So that's a really nice solution. So on the back of the house, we've got a mix of triple glazing and double glazing. So our open plan kitchen, living and dining space combines the two, and obviously combines both opening and fixed doors, windows and units. So it really is using the full array of what VELFAC can offer. But I think it gives us an awful lot of flexibility, loads of natural light at different orientations as well. So the tower was really important to us from a design perspective in terms of just generating loads of natural light right into the heart of the house, and obviously we've got great views over fields away from it as well. So it was important that we got it right from a window perspective. We chose a really big fixed VELFAC tower. They come in bespoke sizes, so we were able to match them in with the lines of the house as well, so it didn't feel out of place. We lived with the windows for a couple of years. We've really actually noticed that they perform probably better than we thought. We hadn't really given much thought to the kind of the feel of them, the weight of them, the build quality, but actually living with it day in, day out, everything from the handles to the way that the doors open and the windows open, gives a real sense of quality. So that's something that's been very important to us and actually made the house feel nicer as a result. So there was a lot of back and forth between my designers, builders, myself, and also the VELFAC team supplying the windows. And I think that was really important because obviously this is a big project, a lot of windows, a big contract. And I think installing windows is just such a critical part of the overall process of bringing a house to life, really. You can construct the walls, all the internal remodeling, but actually once you've got the windows in, it really does feel like a house. So obviously, there's a lot of complexity between existing window openings, newly formed window openings. So it's a complex thing to get right, and we got it completely right, thanks, I think, to that big communication between us and the team. So I'd absolutely recommend VELFAC to people building their own home. In fact, I've done it to several friends and family who are doing big projects as well. And I think it's not for everybody in terms of the design, but for most houses that are looking for a high design, mainly contemporary finish, maximising the amount of glazing and light that you get into the house as a result, then I think, pound for pound, I think they're as good as anything out there.